Yo, all right. Looks like we're live, calculator.
Hey, greetings and salutations, Mr. 411. How are you doing today?
Doing wonderful. Welcome back, calculator.
Yes.
All right, man.
Good.
This is the 4-1 Sports World Fantasy Show. Man, it's gonna be a great week, calculator. We're gonna talk
Absolutely.
about the top 12 running backs today. Uh, Also gonna bring back our famous wheel of names and do our mock
hmm
draft.
It is mock draft Monday, my friend. So
Yes,
that's what I
sir.
like.
Absolutely. Lacey Dawson likes that as well. She
hmm
will be joining us today, so that'll be wonderful too. You know, she can't miss a mock draft for anything, man. You know that.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's one of those things that Lacey shows up on all these preseason shows to get ready for a draft, and week one, you don't hear from her anymore, man. it's
Yeah,
like,
all
it's
right.
like, it's like, Lacey, we still got to play the games.
Yeah,
That's all
exactly,
right.
calculator.
She says she just gets fantasy footballs for the drafting, man. That's all she likes.
Yeah. I mean, how weird can you be? But
uh,
you know what?
hey,
But we're gonna do this, right?
oh
So
yeah.
right on the other end here, we're gonna jump into the show, man. So everybody, welcome and sit back, relax, and get ready. Here we go.
Ah, yes. And everyone, Mr. 411 did talk about running backs, the top 12. We're actually going to go a little bit deeper because we like to cover the top 12, but we want to go on little fringe people as well. When you say, Mr. 411, we don't want to just give a stop at 12. We want to give a little extra that might be, on the fringe of being a running back one. And that's why we want to talk about the top 12 because those are considered running back ones for your team, guys that can, you can hitch a ride to them and, build around. But we're going to give you some other guys for people that aren't as fortunate to have a good draft position to go a little bit deeper in guys that might be a running back one. And for those that love stud running backs with our first couple picks and running back one and two. So, but yeah, that's what we're going to go over today.
Oh, absolutely. But if you want to get this information and continue to get more information like this, please do the following, ladies and gentlemen.
Subscribe, like, notify. 3 important steps.
Not only are you helping yourself, but you're also helping us. You're helping us with what we're doing here and helping the product grow. Because what we want to do is we want to provide information to everyone. We want everyone to be great fantasy managers. And what other way than to use your resources? And that's what we're providing. And I'm so thankful that the calculator has decided to share his brain, with everyone.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for, Mr. 411. And we always like to say for the people that enjoy friendly wagers, anytime. And heck, there's some people that just play for pride. And I'm a pride guy. I mean, I could play for free, but I still want to win. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah,
Absolutely.
and that's
Oh,
that's
that's
what I'm
that.
here for.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, we got to pay a bill or two too before we get
Yep.
started. So let's welcome Heavenly Spa Mobile.
Hi, I'm Latanya. I'm the owner of Heavily Spa Mobile. I've been in this business 19 years plus. If you're in dire need of a massage for achy muscles, back, neck, shoulder, hip, legs, feet, come on down and schedule an appointment with me. You can't go wrong. There's nothing wrong with taking care of you because no one's going to be able to take care of you. I'm located at 2484 Ingleside Avenue, and that's in Building 8, and that's in Macon, Georgia. Again, you can go online to Heavenly Spa Mobile to schedule your future appointment, or you can reach out to me at 478-747-9231. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely. All right.
I
We
mean,
thank Heavenly Spa Mobile.
Mr. 411, I do want to add something. for
Yes,
people.
sir. Yes, sir.
She's been doing massages almost as long as I've been doing fantasy football. So I'm pretty sure she's good at it by now. So 19 years, folks. She knows what she's doing.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? She's the calculator of massages.
There you go. There you go.
How about that?
Mhm.
All right. Hey, man, we got to still keep paying bills. So let's get one more in here. All right.
All right.
PT with Grit is next. PT with Grit. Keith Morgan. Check him out.
I'm going for 8. Yeah. Come on. 6. Come on. Come on. 3. 2. Go ahead, Miss B. Come on. Okay.
Man, Mr. 411, I get tired just watching that advertisement. I mean, he's working that lady hard. Whew. And that's what we're here to do.
That's right. Well, calculator. That's working overtime right there. But we thank PT with Grit for being a sponsor of the Fantasy Football Show. And like I say, you know, Miss B, right? You've probably heard him saying Miss B. And Miss B has been putting the work in, you know, and to reach her goal and to be a champion. And if you join with PT with Grit, he has online training as well. There'll be some more information about that. He's actually going to be on the Sports Brothers show on Tuesday. So you'll get to see PT with Grit founder, Keith Morgan on the show tomorrow. So another reason to hit that like, subscribe, and notify. And again, in order for Miss B to win at what she's doing, she's putting the work in. And that's what this show is about, is helping you put the work in. And we're going to talk about the top 12. And we're going to bring in our additional fantasy expert, Lacey Dawson.
Hi.
All right.
Mr. 411, she just popped out of nowhere. It's like all of a sudden she
Great.
just showed up.
Look,
And I do have to
Lacey.
thank you, Mr. 411. When I entered the studio, I got a screen full of chocolate goodness from whoever that was. I'm tuning in tomorrow.
We'll tune into the Sports Brothers show tomorrow.
Yeah, that was quite a nice introduction. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You know, and my calendar picture's coming out soon too.
Yeah, well, make sure you have him on the cover.
Yeah. There might be some Photoshops going on there, Lacey. Just beware if Mr. 411's going to be on calendar.
Don't take any chances, even if it's a bait and switch.
That's what Mr. 411 does.
That's what he does best, really.
Yeah.
You're gonna see some hair, chest, and everything.
I'm running a little late. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I just got the news that Mr. Lacey Dawson has tested positive for COVID.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's like
he was down here in Florida this weekend.
Okay.
And he neglected to tell me on Friday that he had been around, like some of his coworkers had been tested positive. So as he's leaving on Sunday, he's like, "Oh, I'm not feeling great. Let me take one of these tests." I'm like, "Why would you do that?"
Well, you don't know if you're feeling good.
I'm like, wait a minute. You've been here since Friday, and you didn't mention any of this because you know I would have avoided you like the plague.
Well.
He's getting it out of the way, Miss Lacey. He's getting it out of the way before football season for you. You know,
I better not be sick. I don't feel good either. But it's not like last time. So I'm hoping maybe it's
calculator.
Yeah.
Well, you know what this is all about, calculator. Remember on the last episode, last Wednesday, we talked about the double combination. We talked about panty platter, and then we talked about Margarita Man. You know, and
combine it with
that
combination. I got Mr. McGregor.
I mean, I tell you, man. I'm gonna teach a word to these people. There's a word called synergy out there. Synergy was described by one of my college professors as the easiest way to add a definition to the word synergy is 1 + 1 = 3. Okay. So hey, so you get the Margarita Man and you get the panty platter together. You're gonna have a good time.
I think Margarita Man needs to get together with Mr. Grit or something.
Oh boy! Well, hey, after you, you get a workout by Mr. Grit. You're going to go to the Margarita Man.
I just want to watch the workout calculator. Don't be ridiculous. And how the hell do you remember what college professors said 50 years ago?
Well, perfect recall, right? I mean, that means he was a good teacher because I can still recite what he said when I was in college.
So I might not have had any good teachers. I can't remember a word.
Oh man, y'all are something else. All right, well, we're gonna jump into the top 12 here because we do have it is an hour show, ladies and gentlemen. We have 45 minutes to go, so we're good. We're gonna jump on the top. We're going to jump on the top 12 and the running back, what we believe you should pick a running back. And we're going to go a little beyond 12. And then we're going to have our mock draft. So, my favorite part, the wheel of names will be included on that. So, we're going to do that. So, speaking of running backs, let's go ahead and open this up with a little fun. If you all can see the graphic on the board.
Yes.
All right. Guess this player started out at the University of Texas, played at Kansas City. Also played in Jacksonville. Guess this player.
Oh man.
I mean
2008? Larry Johnson?
Oh, good guess.
Is it?
Well, we're gonna go and reveal it, right?
Oh, that was my second one. Oh.
Yeah, Jamal Charles. Jamal Charles. Running back. And the reason why I'm bringing this up because A, we're talking about running backs, but B, Jamal Charles. Look at the stat across the bottom of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Jamal Charles. Look at what he was able to accomplish in fantasy.
I actually had him that week 15. I believe it was against the Raiders. Is when he did it. Because I was the number 6 seed, and I played the number 1 team. Guy pretty much had 1 loss all year, and I beat him with that one performance. I still remember this. He still brings that up every time I play him every year. You're not going to have Jamal Charles to save you this week. But yes, I remember that game vividly. So, and I know a lot of people got beat by Jamal Charles. So the people that got beat remember that as well. Yes.
Yeah, the most points recorded in one game, by Jamal, a running back. And so that leads into our running back conversation. So it's important that you get running backs, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about it. Here's the 12. Here's a list of some of the backs that we considered in our top 12. Lacey, feel free to dissect as we go along here. All right, calculator. Okay. Let's kick it off with the first half of those top 12.
Well, it's pretty. We talked about it. Well, it wasn't really briefly, but our last conversation was, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey. Those are pretty much your 1 and your 2 that's been going off the board in all cases. The only case I can say is Christian McCaffrey is a guy that is a league winner. However, he can be a league loser for you as well, based on his last 2 years of injury history. Jonathan Taylor, he's one of those rock solid. It's basically and we saw how that's your Peyton Manning, Ryan Leaf type deal. You have one guy that has a low floor, and then you have one guy that has a higher, what they say, ceiling in the game. Christian McCaffrey has shown he is a high ceiling type guy when he's healthy. That's just the key. He's got to stay healthy. So, it's basically how, if you're feeling dangerous, you can go with Christian McCaffrey, but again, Jonathan Taylor is about his. And the good thing is, I've always said, Jonathan Taylor is a guy where once you get him, you can do a lot of different things in the draft. Christian McCaffrey, you are going to have to target another running back earlier than you might want to if you do draft him. So, yes, Christian McCaffrey has a case to be number one, but as we've said on our shows, all of us is pretty much say we will take Jonathan Taylor number one as our number one running back overall.
Yeah. All right. How you feel about that, Lacey?
I can agree with that.
Okay, right. And so I'm gonna wait. And so since we went over those first two, we'll briefly discuss. This is where me and Mr. 41 have a slight. We don't see eye to eye, so to speak. So I'll ask Lacey if she wants to weigh in. Mr. 41, I understand his argument for Eckler being at number 3. However, I'm a Dalvin Cook guy, and I'm thinking if we can forgive Christian McCaffrey for his injury history, I'm going to forgive Dalvin Cook for the same thing, because I've seen what Dalvin Cook can do when he is healthy. I mean, and the one when I'm splitting hairs between when I take Dalvin Cook and Travis or Derrick Henry above Eckler, as you see, I have Eckler number 5, so it's not like I have him totally out there. But I am going more, even though these are our PPR rankings, so I do want to say that's why a lot of these pass catchers are higher on our list. But for me, I'm going to give more credence to touchdown equity, which is what I think I can get with a Dalvin Cook, a Derrick Henry. They will carry 3 times more inside the 10-yard line than Eckler will, especially with the new guy that the Chargers drafted. Out of college, they say he could take some goal line carries. So I'm going to put more in my personal rankings. I'm putting more guys that I think are going to get more touchdowns over the guy. Yeah. And that's why I have Dalvin Cook ahead of Derrick Henry, because I think he's going to catch more balls than Derrick Henry. I think Dalvin Cook and Henry are actually going to probably lead the league in touchdowns if they stay healthy. So that's why I have them, there, but I have him just above Eckler. Mr. 41, you have Eckler number 3. Do you think he can maintain that the touchdown pace that he did last year, since it was he set career highs?
Yeah, it was career highs, and kind of looking at it more so as you stated now, and fairly stated that McCaffrey has the injury bug, and so does Cook, and I just think that with Eckler, again, I just feel like with that PPR in this PPR type league, I really and it may be some bias too, because he damaged me a couple games. But he can really be a wide receiver for you. And I just really have that hunch right now. It's like I just feel like he's going to be able to outlast Cook this season. And then I also, with Cook, I have to have concerns about Madison as the backup that can come in and actually do a lot of damage as well, because he gives you RB1 stats when he's playing. So maybe the Vikings might, kind of take a little bit of the load off of Cook, because they know they have such a good back as a backup. So that's just kind of my take on it. But
I do want to work this. Well, just before Lacey, I don't want to cut her off. That's why I tried to speak a little earlier.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Just for our folks to understand, the coaching regime. This is a new coaching regime with the Vikings, and the coaching regime coming in, they like their number ones to dominate the ball. If they have a number one, they stick with them. So yes, they do have a capable backup. However, I think Dalvin Cook, as long as he's going to be healthy, he's going to be out there. And so that's why I think, yes, I'm actually, the coaching, actually, another thing that I really like Dalvin Cook, and also the offensive line's better in Minnesota as well. They've upgraded that. They've been working on that. And that's one of the things I've knocked Henry down below Cook is I really don't like the offense. If I'm splitting hairs, I look at the supporting cast, and I think Dalvin Cook has a better supporting cast overall than Derrick Henry because, everybody knows Derrick Henry is going to get the ball. So what are they going to do? They're going to do like they did in the playoffs. They're just going to load up because what did Henry come back in the playoffs? He didn't do anything, even though he was out there because everybody just said we're going to take away their number one weapons. You really can't do that with Dalvin Cook. I mean, you got Justin Jefferson, you got Adam Thielen, you got Herb Smith out there running routes. You got Osborne, a great number 3 receiver. So you can't really concentrate on Alvin Cook because you have other guys that can beat you. Derrick Henry, that's the only guy there. But again, I still think Derrick Henry still could get his. But if I'm splitting between Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry, I'm taking Dalvin Cook. What about you, Lacey? I didn't mean to cut you off on your thought.
No, that's fine. I was just I was thinking about Eckler, like what you said. It's like, okay, he's how can he possibly keep up that pace? But Eckler always seems to outperform whatever his projection is. And so that seems to be consistent with him. I remember when he was splitting carries, I think it was Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
And somehow he managed to carve out substantial fantasy numbers, even splitting carries with someone as good as Melvin Gordon. And so if I'm going to pick at number 3, I'm actually going to take Austin Eckler over Dalvin Cook at that pick because he just doesn't get injured like that. Mm-hmm. And Dalvin Cook is great when he's out there, but if you add up he came in, I want to say number 2 overall last year.
Yes,
because he's durable. He's proven to be durable. Yeah. So just if I had to do that, because I know I draft with a lot of people who are sharks, like Mr. 411 in the calculator. And if they see me take Dalvin Cook, I can be assured that one of them is going to take Alexander Madison before I can get to him. So that is my reasoning for it. Now, in a perfect world, sure, I would. If I could get Dalvin Cook and Madison, then if I was short of that, I would take Cook. But since you're picking at number 3 and you have a long wait in between, you know what I mean? So all of the good backs are going to be gone, and somebody's going to poach my backup just because he's Dalvin Cook. So that's Dalvin Cook is ranked higher healthy, no question. But as far as like taking into consideration how injury prone Cook is, I would probably take Eckler.
And I do want to add, you made a good point about Eckler always outperforming expectations. However, Eckler's never been a first-round draft pick. So this is the first time Eckler's actually gotten in the conversation of being a first round. I got him in 3 leagues last year, and both of them I had to spend a high second-round pick. But I've never had to spend a top 5 pick. So that's you're going to have to bank that he can pretty much produce at those numbers.
I don't think the Chargers changing much about what they did. It worked. And so we'll have to see. But that's my feeling about it. I didn't put together a list. I wasn't feeling good earlier today. But when I'm thinking about those 2 players, I've had both of them. And Eckler always surprises you in a good way. And Cook generally will surprise you in a not so good way. So that's just how I feel about it. Yeah.
And Mr. 4-1, this is also kind of interesting. Cool. I'm sorry. I just want to say.
And you didn't.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, and I was just going to say, Lacey, you didn't make a list, but you are our analyst. Okay, so you were able to analyze the list,
our list
between the calculator 4 and 1. So
how do you come up with these? Yeah.
Carry on,
And Mr. 4-1, I'm very proud of you. When I saw your listing, I brought a little smile to my face because me and you actually have Aaron Jones and Deandre Swift. We actually have them flipped, higher than consensus. A lot of people have the Aaron Jones and I have Deandre Swift has actually been creeping up people's list as training camps coming out and people starting to look at more and more film from last year. And Swift is one of the best. He's actually, and he can catch as good as Eckler and run as good as Dalvin Cook. I mean, he's a guy that can catch the ball, go to the house. He's a guy that can run between the cat tackles. He's built for it. And being I'm a self-proclaimed Bulldog fan, watching a lot of his college tape. He's got all the goods. I mean, the thing is, he was so good, he was able to carve out a role when they had Sony Michel and Nick Chubb in the backfield. That's how talented Deandre Swift is. So now, and I think they're going to lean on him, and I think their offense is going to only get better. So what does that mean? That means more trips to the red zone. And what does that mean? More chances. So I think Deandre Swift can get, you take last year to this year's stats. I think you could take last year's stats, add some more touches, catches, and I'd say I'd give him just a 10% increase in workload. But I think he can get more touchdowns because I think he's going to have more opportunities to get there. So that's why I actually love DeAndre Swift. And yes, he could have a soft spot in my heart because he helped me out so much last year in a nice big league that I choose to get in. And he did let me down near the end of the year because he was wearing down. But I mean, he was just breaking in. I think he hit that wall. He didn't have as many touches so I think he's working his way up there. He's had another off season to build his body to get football. So I really, as you can see on my list, I have no problems taking DeAndre Swift, early, I wouldn't say early in the first round, but between your late first round.
Yeah, that's cool. I think those are comparable. So I agree that that's the right range for either one of them. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. I have a question for Mr. 411. Why is Derrick Henry so low on your list?
That's exactly what I was about to say. No, that was a great point. I was actually about to leave that in there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since y'all gonna do the tag team, if y'all watch wrestling, how they have the tag teams and then they have their teamwork, team move, like Rock and Roll Express with the double drop kick. Since y'all gonna double drop kick me right now,
is that what that was? It felt good.
With Derrick Henry, with Derrick Henry, I'm a little low on him, and it's not that I don't like him. He's up there, he's in the top 10, right? So, but I just feel like, being as big as he is, and the carries that he's, was given in Tennessee. I'm just trying to stay away from the landmine, if you will. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm sitting there at that number, I'm going to take him. But I'm just trying to avoid what I've seen happen a couple times already with Henry. So I forget how many games he missed last season. But as big, as indestructible as he looks, he has shown that he can miss a lot of miss time. So, and he's given blows and he's taking a lot of blows. So I'm just trying to stay away from that. That's all.
Yeah. Well, now I will say this again. If you're worried about injury history, you have to take that into consideration with Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook. So I don't think injury history is that big. If I'm going to forgive Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook, I'm the same guy. I'm big into forgiveness. I'll forgive you, especially if you can help me out. I forgive you, Derrick Henry. If I'm going to forget, I'll forgive them before I give everybody else. But a big thing that the reverse.
But I like
one is Najee Harris. And I'm not going to have you go over your Najee Harris take again because you explained it very good last time. I just think without Big Ben, that's why Najee actually got bumped down compared to because Najee is going ahead of DeAndre Swift, ahead of Aaron Jones in consensus expert opinions that I've been seeing out there. But Najee Harris, I'm worried about the offensive line. I'm worried about the change at quarterback. I don't see all those dump offs. And with that offensive line and that offense not being as good, I don't see a lot of trips to the red zone. So that, and if they do, I mean, they got Chase Claypool that can do a Debo Samuel impersonation and just run him out of the backfield to try and get people off balance and stuff like that. So, Najee Harris, I think his lack of red zone usage, or when I say usage, lack of trips as a team to the red zone is what's going to hurt Najee Harris, and the change in quarterback. I just don't see him getting there were sometimes he would get 12, 15 targets when they, with Big Ben not being able to throw deep.
Yeah, but calculate, I will say this too, just to finish up on real quick on the Derrick Henry. We all into the forgiveness part of the program, but I will lean a little more to the McCaffrey because of how explosive he can be as a back and receiver. I haven't quite seen that from Henry yet. So if I'm going to forgive, I'm gonna lean more towards the guy who also can give me that other category of receiving. I've seen McCaffrey almost give you like wide receiver type numbers. So, and I feel that same way about an Eckler and so on and so forth. So that's my leaning when I'm going to lean a little bit. But yeah, I'm with you on a lot of what you're saying there. And it's kind of a preference with people. So that's the way I'm kind of going.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. What about the bottom half, bottom six?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lacey.
I got a question. I see that the calculator has Leonard Fournette at number 12, I think.
That's number 11.
Number 11, but Mr. 411 doesn't have him on his list.
They don't have him on the list. That was we were going to discuss that. I was going to try and defend my position.
Well, he has Connor and you don't.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be real quick about that. Right, it's not gonna take long. I just had an issue with finding out that Fournette was a lot. He was overweight. Heading into.
I did. Like I heard about that.
So
yeah.
But you know what, Mr. 411, he's been overweight every year he's reported to training camp. That's one of the reasons they got rid of him in Jacksonville, because he kept showing up over late. But what he does is he gets in, he stops eating the buffets, he starts working out, he drops the pounds, and then he's ready for things. But he's been like that all through college. He said, "Hey, I'll get ready when I have to get ready."
And I think, are we sure?
But But if he did all the things he was supposed to be, he should have been a top 3, top 4 back in fantasy and the real football. So that's why I have him a little further down than I am. It's just the coach in me. I'm that coach that wear those coaching shorts. Them shorts they used to wear. When we was in school, those coaches had them shorts with the pockets in it and all that. Like Lacey, don't get too excited there. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. So I'm just being the old mean coach there with Fournette.
I got you. And you notice Alvin Kamara, he's slowly creeping up, because a lot of words coming out is they're not even going to rule on that until next year. So if you get a full Alvin Kamara, a full clean, no suspensions, everything laid off till next season, he could be a value up here. I mean, he's going in the 3rd round right now, and a lot of people say by the time late August gets here, he'll be back in the 2nd round if there's no looming suspension on the board, because he is pretty much the ground game for the New Orleans Saints. And I expect Ezekiel Elliott to bounce back. I think, well, I should say somewhat. If the followers of the show, we had Ezekiel Elliott number 3 overall last year. We had it McCaffrey,
we did.
Cook, and Ezekiel. Now, Ezekiel was 5 for a lot of people, and we went out on a limb, and we were patting ourselves on the back there early on, because he was getting 20 points a game. Yeah. But something just happened to where Pollard figured in more of the game. But again, I think now that Dak is fully healthy, I think that's going to help the passing game. The passing game always has a positive effect on the running game, so I think that's going to help Ezekiel Elliott, and I think Saquon Barkley. I kind of like him getting up there. However, again, I like these others. I like the Nick Chubbs. I like these other prove-it guys ahead of a Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, hey, I think he's going to do better than last year. But I was a Saquon Barkley owner last year in one league. I know Lacey was a Saquon Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott together in one league. So I think so they were dead to her by midseason, from what I remember. But yeah. I think they're going to have a somewhat of a bounce back season, but I just don't think when I say, okay, I think they're one of those floor guys, right? But I'm going to go with the Nick Chubbs. I know he's going to get those red zone carries, especially early on. And I think, Leonard Ford, I think these guys are going to, now Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Barkley, they'll do you good. I just don't think they're going to be able to reach that echelon that people I have above them. And of course, David Montgomery rounding out my 15. I mean, what can you say? He's going to get the workload, that I'd say take his numbers from year to year, and they're pretty much the same. As long as he stays healthy, he'll, dominate carries and stuff like that. However, if you're David Montgomery, you can get his backup, who's a good backup, later on in the draft, Khalil Herbert, who's a dynamic player. So keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, Herbert.
Okay.
All right.
I feel like y'all covered all of it. Oh, the only question.
Okay, well, the mock draft is coming up, but before we do, let's quickly talk about any second tier type backs.
Oh, that's not on the list?
Yeah. That's not on this list. Any second tier back.
I like ETN for the Jacksonville. I mean, he's coming up there. He's sneaking up drafts. A lot of people are talking about Cam Akers. But a lot of people but the reason he's not on the list is a lot of the negative stuff saying is like, hey, look at his yards per carry last year. Look at his yards after contact last year. So a lot of people are just a little questioned about, what he did last year. That, he came back from an injury, but he wasn't that good, as good as he people thought he could be last year. A lot of people, AJ Dillon. Hey, I like him as a third type flex type running back. I mean, hey, Aaron Jones goes down. AJ Dillon shows he'll get you 20 points a game. He still has Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback to keep defenses honest. So AJ Dillon's. I love Tony Pollard as a second type running back by committee guy. Keep him to 12, 15 touches. He'll do you good because he has big playability. He can get it all in one stop. And Kareem Hunt,
I'd like to ask you guys about a couple of people specifically.
Sure.
I'm just curious about what you think about them. One of them is the Kansas City running back, Clyde
Edwards-Helaire. Yeah.
What is that?
CEH.
He was up high in the first top second round last year, and he just didn't do anything.
Yeah, well, he also got hurt as well. And what people have questions, and the reason a lot of people aren't drafting him is they saw what Darrell Williams can do at the Kansas City running back, an undrafted free agent. And they say that if he can do it, why can't CEH do it? So that's what people saying is all things are saying he's getting outperformed. However, Kansas City spent a lot of draft cap. They spent a first round pick and actually traded up in the first round that year and drafted him, hoping he could be the one. CEH is a guy, but again, if for those people that do that, we've talked about zero running back strategies before. If you're going to draft him, you need to draft him with a bunch of other second tier type running backs in case it doesn't work out. Hey, if he hits, it works out. And the draft value's there now, but he's definitely wasn't a first round draft value like he was in the past couple of years.
Two more.
Sure.
Two more. I'm sorry. One of them is Dalvin Cook's brother. What do you think about him?
We got 2 minutes.
James Cook, great environment. However, didn't have a lot of usage in college. They didn't need him because, Georgia, defense pretty much did all the things. However, again, Buffalo doesn't use the running back position that much. Buffalo has a bunch of other running backs. They still have Moss. They still have Singletary.
And Rashad Penny.
Penny, he's the starter. However, they spent a lot of draft capital on another running back. Hey, Rashad Penny's perfect in the 6th, 7th round. Again, those guys are good to have as like a guy that you can do a flex spot or just depth because they can hit with a good, possibility. They do have a chance to break out. But yeah, they're not guys you want to hit your wagon to, but they're definitely guys that can help you out later in the draft.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's time. for
Yes.
the wheel of names.
Yes.
Pain.
and just to let people
All
people
right.
know, we will respin if it lands on number 11 and 12 because we've already done. You can go back to our other episodes and see how those drafts turned out if you want. So if it's 11 or 12, we'll spin again. If not, we will definitely
Let's respin.
oh, let's see.
All
4.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
Come on,
better.
give us a good number.
So okay, so we will
All
we will
right.
go to our draft simulator, and we are going
Calculator.
to
Calculator, real quick.
sure.
Got my glass.
Real quick. Everybody look at the top right-hand corner and take a look at our helmet.
Ugh.
Take a look at our helmet.
It's coming up.
We still won't spend the money, huh? Oh, look at that.
There it is.
I remember those days.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's our uniform. All right.
All right. Now look at
Talk
that.
about you.
The first 3 picks, we're number 4 spot. So Jonathan Taylor, McCaffrey, and Najee Harris. So this is Mr. 401's cousin, drafted in the number 3 slot. Apparently, he really loves him some Najee Harris. Okay, so here's an interesting situation. We could go with our solid running backs. We talked about running backs all game, or we can draft one of those. Remember, we talked about our big 3 with Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson. However, at the number 4 spot, we still have all our top running backs that we talked about. We have Austin Eckler. We have Dalvin Cook. We have Derrick Henry. Mr. 401, who would you take at this spot?
I would take I would take Eckler at this spot.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I
you're
feel
right.
like that's the obvious pick. Yeah.
I don't like it.
That's who I would take.
I vote for Eckler also. At this
All
point, you can't really go wrong. He's the healthiest of those
Okay.
two.
I stated my protest. I will do Eckler because we said consensus rules. However, at this point, I would have personally went with Dalvin Cook. So,
Okay, gotcha. I like Dalvin Cook, but
Yep.
and Dalvin Cook went right
I like
after
him too.
that.
of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
All
like
right.
Cook.
All right. Well, look, Fournette. Oh my goodness, Kyle Pitts is flying up the
Wow.
board. He went with 205. We still have a tight end available, Mark Andrews. Hey, we talked about Saquon Barkley. He could be. We would be set at running back. However, if you look at, we'll look at. I got tier rankings over on our left. We have 4 people that are considered tier 2 running backs by consensus experts: Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Deebo Samuel, and running back. After Saquon Barkley, running back, although we still have Nick Chubb. I don't think Nick Chubb would come back to us if we drafted.
No, he will not.
So
Good
I mean,
point.
we could go with a wide receiver here, or we
I'd
could
rather
just
go. Personally, I would rather go with Chubb. That's my vote. You guys decide.
So you want to go another running back here, and
Well,
because
I
we should be.
just think Chubb is top 10, and we're getting him outside of the top 10.
That is true. That is true. What do you think, Mr. 41?
I'm going to have to lean on the wisdom of Lacey Dawson at this one. I have no problem with Nick Chubb at this point.
Okay, we're going Nick Chubb.
So you got.
But
Chubb
now we should feel good about our running game, right?
That's pretty.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah.
should
Now
feel
we're good.
about our running game, right?
And guess what? And look
Okay.
those tier. And if we look at it, it looks like we made a choice because 2 of the 4 tier 2 running backs come back. Mike Evans, I think, is excellent value as a 3rd round pick.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Tom Brady. I mean, Chris Godwin is not 100% healthy. He's not on the PUP list.
Whatever you guys say in this one, you can't go wrong with Mike Evans.
I like it. I like it, calculator.
All right.
Like
so we're.
I
so
feel like
let's
we
get
have. I feel like we have 3 elite players already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I was a little, just to give you guys, I was hoping, I didn't say it out loud because I didn't want to jinx it, but it did jinx it. I kind of wanted Mark Andrews because I think a 3rd round pick, even though he's a tight end, on a top 2 tight end would have been a good spot for him. However, as you saw, he was sniped right before our pick. So he jinxed us anyways. But hey, a consolation prize of Mike Evans, I'm more
Not
than
bad.
happy to take. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh, the
Evans
first.
is the number one receiver in Baltimore.
That's right. And it looks like Josh Allen is off the board.
Of course.
Brees Hall. But look, Cam Akers, he came off in the 7th pick of the we talked about him. You go DJ Moore, another running back, ETN off, Ezekiel Elliott off, James Conner. Man, that was a definite run on running backs there. But hey, we have our 2 running backs, so we really didn't hurt us, right? Waddle,
Right.
Wide receiver out. Keenan Allen. So pretty much receivers have been taken off the board. A lot of receivers. I mean, we have 2 left. And if you go to the insights here, 3 teams need a starting quarterback. So if we went quarterback, it'd be Justin Herbert because I have him number 2 overall quarterback. But I really am not. I don't think we need a quarterback right at this now. I think we can get another good value later. So I'm going to dismiss that. See, running backs available. I know we don't need it.
I like how they give you that.
Yeah, it's a nice little tool. So on the overall draft board, it looks like wide receivers are still kind of in vogue. What about, would you guys like a Terry McLaurin, a Brandon Cooks, DK Metcalf?
Who's throwing to these guys? I'm not excited about them.
I feel good about McLaurin though. I like McLaurin. If we have to look at this batch here, I would feel good about him.
Yeah, and if you look and if you think about McLaurin, he's compared to last year when he was going in the early 3rd, late 2nd round, he really was. Last year, a lot of people forget about that. Nothing has changed except his quarterback. I mean, Wentz, you could say, is he not an upgrade over Fitzpatrick? I think so. I mean, in the age department at least. So I can go with McLaurin.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, and we're gonna and the good thing is McLaurin's not our wide receiver 1; he's our 2. Remember, Evans is our guy, so we'll beef up our wide receivers.
Man, we have a championship team.
I like it. I like it already. And look,
always a championship team on paper. Yeah.
Oh yeah, beforehand, of course.
So where are we going next?
Okay, well, if you look,
is it our turn already?
Yeah, yeah. Patrick Mahomes. He went off the board. Justin
Good, because we have 12
right
minutes.
Yeah. Darren Waller, another tight end. So if we want to go tight ends, this is the last tight end before. Well, no, Dalton Schultz is still available, and he might be able to fall to us in the next round. So I think we can hold off on tight end one more round. You have a difference maker on Lamar Jackson. But Brandon Cooks is still available. I know y'all don't like his quarterback, but the targets are going to be there. He is the only game in town in Houston, and he'd be a flex player.
Okay, I'm okay with it.
You go with that,
Lamar Jackson, Cooks, Lamar Jackson, Cook, Lamar Jackson, Cook.
Well,
okay, who that's going to top? Who's going to top Jackson if we pass on him right now? What quarterback?
I think Jalen Hurts could probably make it back to us.
Okay. Well, let's try Cooks then. Let's try Cooks.
Yeah, let's see. Well, now 7 teams need a quarterback before we pick. But I'll look at it like this way. I think Dak Prescott will fall to us. I think Tom Brady will fall to us. I think Joe Burrow will fall to us. I mean, one of those.
Don't want any of those. Yeah.
Could fall
let's
to
go
us.
Cooks.
Better than either one of them.
Okay, so let's see.
Well, let's go Cooks.
We'll go Cooks, and now let's see which quarterback falls to.
So we got 2 running backs and 3 receivers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we got 2 running backs.
We have.
Well, there you go.
Look at that, Jalen Hurts fell to us.
Well, there you go. We know what our next pick is.
Not right now. This St. Brown.
That worked out.
I like him.
That worked out great.
Well, the one thing that worries me about Amon St. Brown, Miss Lacey, is he blew up when Deandre Swift went out and TJ Hawkinson went out. And they drafted another receiver.
We're gonna pick Hurts.
Yes, I think Hurts is a no-brainer. I mean, and with AJ Brown now in town, and Hurts is going to get you. He's a legit guy that can get you 4,000.
Well, get him before he goes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know how this is working. I don't know how long you have between picks.
So
yeah. All right, we took him.
Okay.
All right. Who's next?
Okay. Now look, I mean, Gabriel Davis. He's the number 2 receiver and one of the top passing offenses in the league. Tyler Lockett, Granted,
Mm.
Miss Lacey referenced the new quarterback in Seattle. The one thing
Who's
that
taking
worries
us
me
to the
about,
playoffs?
yeah, the one thing, yeah, okay, Mr. Hunter Renfro, he's Mr. All Reliable. However, so many new players in town. That's the one thing that worries me about Hunter Renfro. Although we still got AJ
What
Dillon.
about Ayuk?
I don't like Ayuk.
Ayuk.
I don't like
What about
Ayuk.
him?
I don't like him with George Kittle back healthy. Deebo Samuel's going to gobble up a lot of the targets. I just and Trey Lance we don't know how he's going to be as a passer. So a lot of these, the Hunter Renfro question marks, Ayuk question marks. I think Gabriel Davis is our best bet as a receiver. However, we can lock up another one of those running backs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Remember, he wouldn't be our starter.
Load up on running backs.
And we got 4 good ones available. What do you think,
Yeah.
Mr. 401, between AJ Dillon, Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt, CEH?
Wow. Oh my
Do you like
goodness.
CEH
This is looking
over
good.
Gabriel Davis? I mean,
Well,
Who's
and I'll
starting?
look at
Take one
I
that's
do.
starting.
huh?
what on the running
Take whichever
backs.
one is starting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Hilaire.
Okay, we'll do Hilaire.
Well,
Okay.
Sanders does too, I think, but
Yeah, but he had 0 touchdowns last year.
Really?
Yeah,
Let's go.
because
with
Jalen
Hilaire.
Hurts, and we have
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, the same guy on the offense anyway. So
Okay. We'll take Hilaire.
okay, yeah. And now we're pretty much set at running back.
yes, we got our insurance.
All right.
Okay.
And
Okay,
producers are saying we
now
have about 7 minutes. So
okay.
Okay.
We got let's get tight ends real quick. We only got 2 left before but I think we could do good with Cole Kmet. I think he'll fall back to us. So I think we can still concentrate on another receiver.
Okay.
You can style on running backs too, but I mean, we got Robert Woods, who could be the guy in Tennessee. We got Christian Kirk, who could be the guy in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah.
I
like Kirk. Because I
like
feel
Kirk,
good about
and I think Trevor Lawrence is going to take another step forward as well.
Yeah.
So let's get the top guy on hopefully an improved passing attack.
All right. Kirk and Hurt. I like that.
Yeah.
We had Kirk and Hurt. Did Kirk hurt? We'll take them both. Okay.
Please stop.
and hey, it looks like, let me see, there are 3 teams need a starting tight end before our next pick. So we could get a Dallas Goddard, a Zach Ertz, a Cole Kmet, a Dawson Knox. One of those will fall back to us if we draft. So we can load up on another Tony Pollard, a Rashad Penny, or if you want to look at receivers, you got Jacoby Myers, Tyler Boyd. Chris Olave. He's the rookie, hot rookie.
That's your guy.
New Orleans, yeah.
You don't mind if I pick him?
Not at all. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No.
I like that.
Thank you.
I like that.
I do too.
That's outside the box. Thank you.
Yeah, he could be. He could usurp Michael Thomas.
Wow.
Can we get Ertz though, so we can have Kurt, Ertz, and Hurts?
No, Ertz
No,
went.
we are not.
But Dallas Goddard is still available.
Okay.
He's you don't like Dallas Goddard. We can go with Cole Kmet if you rather him. We need a tight end. So
let's go with him. Let's go with Goddard.
What's wrong with Goddard? Yeah.
Goddard, okay.
Yeah, they got rid of Ertz, so Goddard.
That's true. He's the main guy.
All right. We got her.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach through this.
All right, so we're not doing kicker or defense our last picks. We're staying true to that.
All right.
Oh, we talked about how we want Kansas City shares. So we got the corner. Martez Valdez-Scantling is still out there.
Yeah, that's going to be that's good to make, because they did lose the Cheetah, right? They lost Cheetah to Miami.
And he got a 3-year contract, which is a pretty good deal as well.
You mentioned that last week, and see if people hit that like so I'm notified they can.
They would have known that exactly. So are y'all good with MVS, or do y'all want to go? Okay. Okay, we got one more pick, and this is a pick. If you remember, I told you I like those running backs that could possibly hit, and He's not there. He was taken.
Oh, who
Man,
Oh,
Spiller, the guy for where did he go? He
not the one from Atlanta.
no, the guy for the Chargers. They drafted him to be what they said could be the goal line back, but it looks like he was drafted a little earlier than I thought.
Oh.
Man, he's gone.
Okay, so what are we looking for with this pick?
Well, we got running back or a receiver. Because I mean we're pretty much set on quarterback. I like our quarterback. You know,
should we get a backup quarterback? So we have
no, I really don't like backup quarterbacks to tell you the truth this early, because I mean we got a starter that should last us for a few weeks, and then we can play the quarterback trade.
Well,
now if there was a Trey Lance out there or something like that, I could go with that.
We can always go to Houston and get their quarterback. So okay, I'm fine with that on the bye week.
Whoever it is.
So well, we could always get see their
best available.
Best available. I mean, Jamal Williams. He's a backup in Detroit. Mark Ingram II. But I just don't see that going well. I don't know, guys. I mean, it's pretty much best available. Best available is Kenny Golladay overall.
Okay, let's go with him.
Okay.
He can't hurt.
So you want Kenny Golladay? Yeah. I mean, he's our fifth wide receiver.
Wide receiver 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many picks do we have left?
We just have our kicker and our defenses now.
Oh, okay.
Our roster is pretty much set. So we just go. I'll go to the rankings of our. Y'all want to do kicker or defense first?
Defense.
Okay.
Defense.
Los Angeles.
Oh, Rams. Rams are out there.
Take 'em.
Patriots are out there. Yeah. Rams are pretty much a no-brainer.
I mean, with the name Rams, take Rams. You know what I mean? That sounds tough.
Huh?
Yeah. All right. So now our kicker, we got Prater, we got Blankenship.
Doesn't matter.
I
usually take whoever has the latest buy, but I think about it. But
we'll go with. I like Prater. I mean, he's indoors, Arizona, playing with Kyler Murray, and guys that are going to probably score a lot. So we'll go with Prater.
Okay.
And
all right.
Hey, we got an A this time. This is our best grade yet, guys.
Yeah.
So, and I think probably because we just loaded up on. Look at those boomer bust wide receivers: Christian Kirk, Olave, MBS, Kenny Golladay.
I would be confident starting this lineup.
Yeah. And the one thing that does worry me though is it looks like we're a little light on running backs because we only have one guy, CEH. So we might want to take that as a lesson that we might have should have went with the time we went for Christian Kirk. We should have went with like a Rashad Penny or something, just to give us more depth at that. But we are set at our wide receivers and our flex position, because anytime, just a word to the people that play fantasy. If you are in a flex league, I always like to get that flex player. I like to, in a PPR league, I always like to fill that flex position out with a wide receiver, just because it's PPR and you can find better PPR players later in the draft than you could on a running back that's going to get you the same type of production that late in the draft. To fill out a flex player with a running back, it's almost like you'd have to go running back to do that. This way, if you plan on filling that flex player with a wide receiver, you can get one of those top wide receivers early in the draft, and then not have to worry about that quarterback or that other running back so early.
That's a great job, team.
I like it.
All right. Wonderful draft. All right. That completes our show for today. A lot of great information. Appreciate the calculator and Lacey for joining again. As they stated, Mock Draft Monday. So catch us again next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will catch the three of us again. And by the way, I've just been informed that that's true. Okay. Yeah, we are going to have a special guest on Monday.
Oh, is that right?
And I will give a clue, but I'll give that clue. Yeah, I'll give that clue on the YouTube page of who that guest may be. So
excellent.
check out the comments on YouTube, and you'll find out who the guest is going to be for next week.
And
Oh, I'm gonna have to check
All
that
right.
out, Mr.
I
411.
appreciate
as
it.
a plug for Wednesday, we will be having a conversation about the Deshaun Watson situation.
Absolutely. You'll see Lacey Dawson and her crew. I definitely highly recommend that you all tune in for that. It's going to be
We're gonna
very
be
interesting. They're taking a deep dive into it.
yes.
All right. All right.
All
One
right.
for the calculator. Lacey Dawson. I'm Mr. 411. We thank you all for watching and listening. We're signing off. Have a great one.
Okay. Ciao.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.